There cannot be a Green New Deal when there has not been a Black New Deal. And when I say black, I'm talking about ADOS. We don't have an ADOS New Deal. But see, what people keep trying to say, and I keep getting this, and we can have a conversation, but I keep getting people tell me, well, Yvette, can't we add an ADOS New Deal? Can't we add an ADOS New Deal to the Green New Deal? Well, hold on. Hold on. You want me to shoehorn this Black New Deal, which is ADOS. You want me to shoehorn this New Deal into a Green New Deal. Well, let me tell you one thing. First of all, this what we talk about when we talk about our New Deal, a Black New Deal, this ADOS New Deal, we're talking about something that is domestic. This is a domestic New Deal. This is something that happened in America, is a consequence of American policies, American government, housing policy, slavery, and not only action but inaction. We're talking about what happened right here that hasn't been redressed. Here's one of the first things I want to show you about when we talk about the Green New Deal in general. When you talk about emissions, that's everywhere. When you talk about carbon emissions, we're talking about everywhere. That's a global phenomenon. Let me bring that up a little bit. The unmitigated growth of carbon emissions. Now, when you go all the way down, I want you to look at this. You see China, US, EU, India, all of that, right? Now, if you were to go deeper into this, I can tell you exactly what you'd see. If you want to go deeper into these numbers, I can tell you exactly what you'd see. You would see a bunch of people, brown and white, first white, but now you have Mexican billionaires, you have Indian multimillionaires and billionaires, you have a bunch of people who are getting rich off of both human capital and killing the planet. But I ain't got none of that. That's not me. We were the same thing as the earth. It's the same thing. You kill the earth, you kill the polar bear, you killing us too. It's the same thing. So wait a minute. One of the things we have to start doing that we don't typically do, and we don't typically do as well as we should do. One of the things that we have to start doing is measuring cost. And not only just a general cost, we have to measure what was our cost. How much was our contribution to what's happening to the planet right now? What role did we play? And when you look at that, you'll see in this country in particular, a lot of the same barons of industry and capitalists who were taking advantage of us and putting us enslaved and kept doing it. You'll see that this is the same group that polluted the planet. You'll see, and people say, well, we all buy shoes and we all contribute to that. But guess what? We do that because, for those of you who are new here, the Century of the Self, go look at the documentary. We were formerly a utilitarian group of people. We bought clothes because of functionality. It was Madison Avenue and advertisements who changed us into something different. That means for the majority, that is your burden to bear. All y'all people want to pay, this Green New Deal is supposed to be $1 trillion over 10 years. Now, you're going to tell me that we can't do reparations and there's no money for reparations, but y'all going to tell me that we going to do $1 trillion over 10 years for a Green New Deal, and I should try to fit myself inside of that New Deal? You know, I say this a lot, but I got to say it again. By what right do you have to tell me how to fit myself inside of something? Understand that we're 400 plus years inside of this thing and you haven't fixed it. And it's not my fault you haven't fixed it. You just haven't had the will to do it. But I can tell you what, if you want it, we'll do our ADOS New Deal. We'll do that. The Black New Deal, if you want to call it that, but it's ADOS. But let me show you where we're gonna start at in terms of environmentalism. We're going to start a place. We're going to talk about ExxonMobil pumping toxins into a black community in Texas? How about we start there? How about we start a Superfund sites and all these places in these black communities that have become dumping ground for corporations, and start to clean those places up, to clean the air up. I'll make that a central part of our black ADOS New Deal, to clean up those communities, our communities. We'll make that central to what we do. How you feel about that? You okay with that? That's the environment. But it's targeted to us. Because everything, see, the thing we have to understand, when you have targeted oppression, when you have targeted racism that's targeted at ADOS people, you have to have targeted policies to undo that. I'm not going to be on board of some flattening, which is the Green New Deal, where you just flatten everything and we all going, well, we just all going to have a job at the, it's going to make a universal basic income kind of, because we're going to go do green job. No. I'm not in favor of that. I'm in favor of targeting, because you see, there's Cancer Alley, and we are dealing with something that's very specific. Quotes: environmental racism has left black Americans 3 times more likely to die from pollution. That's very specific. Let me show you this. African Americans are more likely to live near landfills and industrial plants that pollute. Water and air. Let me start over again. African Americans are more likely to live near landfills and industrial plants that pollute water and air and erode quality of life. Because of this, more than half of the 9 million people living near hazardous waste sites are people of color. I hate that term, people of color. Separate these groups. These are not just, there's no such thing as just brown people. But understand what this means. In terms of who we are, understand what this means. There has been if you go and read Color of Law, you understand the zoning that put these pollutants in our neighborhood. Remember the whole thing that we said, we eat the failure, everybody else eats the success. So you're not going to put those pollutants in white neighborhoods. No. You put them in our neighborhoods. And people get cancer and cough up their lungs and chunks of meat and flesh and all kind of stuff, and you don't care. But now you want me to just get on board and care about the planet. Care about me first. It's been 400 years. It's time for you to do, white America, what you need to do.